Welcome back to the start of a new weekly reading vlog, and I am starting this on a Tuesday because I didn't really feel like updating yesterday, which was Monday. It was a long day at work and I was just quite tired, and I'll be honest, I didn't really read a ton yesterday, but I am back starting a new weekly vlog and I just wanted to update you on my progress that I have made so far. This will obviously include Monday and obviously today. So I have managed to finish Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, and I didn't really necessarily love this book. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. I gave it a 3 stars on Goodreads, but I would say it's maybe a 3.5 read. Like, it wasn't quite a 4-star read, but it also wasn't necessarily a full 3-star. There were moments I did really enjoy in this book, but overall it was just very like meh. Like, I don't have any strong feelings like of dislike towards it, but I also don't have any strong feelings of love towards it either. Unfortunately, it's not the Ali Hazelwood book that I ended up giving 5 stars. So I was really hoping to like this one because I had heard some people who had previously not liked Ali Hazelwood's book say that they really enjoyed this one, but I didn't quite get that feeling from it. So in this one we are following Scarlett and Lucas, and at the beginning of the book, Lucas is dating Scarlett's best friend Pen, and they break up because they are basically incompatible sexually, and Pen suggests that Scarlett and Lucas would be good together because they have similar interests, in sexual interests, and they obviously then develop a relationship that kind of progresses throughout the book. And the romance part of this one was okay. Like, I didn't really have a problem with any of the spicy scenes. Like, I know some people have complained about that. That wasn't really an issue for me. I just found this one to be not very interesting. Scarlett is a diver and Lucas is a swimmer, and there is quite a lot of diving and swimming references made throughout the book. Some sports romances are really light on the sport, and other ones go like quite deep into it, and I feel like this had quite a lot of sports references, like the swimming and diving, and I'm not really interested in that. Like, I'm very much more interested in the characters and their romance and their the romance developing, and I'm not interested in all the diving and swimming, and that did take up a big portion of the book. And I really disliked Pen. Like, I found her character quite frustrating, and particularly towards the end when she basically throws a hissy fit that Lucas and Scarlett are together, even though she was the one that told them to get together. I just didn't quite understand that. And so yeah, overall this was okay, but not a favourite, unfortunately. So I'm still undecided as to whether I'm going to pick up any more Ali Hazelwood books or not. I keep getting drawn in by the hype, and maybe I need to stop doing that. But I did enjoy Bride, and I gave Bride 4 stars, so I think I will pick up Mate when that comes out, which is the sequel. But I'm not sure about her contemporary ones. I'm not sure if they're necessarily for me, but I'll probably still keep trying them because I'll get drawn in by the hype. And then in terms of physical book, the next one I'm going to start is A Monsoon Rising by Thea Guan Son. I haven't actually started this one yet, but this is what I'm going to be picking up next. And I will probably get some read of this this evening, unless I read more of my ebook, which I might do. The ebook I'm currently reading is Tempting Boundaries by Carrie Ann Ryan, which I am really enjoying. I'm about 60% of the way through that one, and I'm also listening to an audiobook regarding The Duke by Grace Calloway, which I'm enjoying so far. In that one we are following Adam and Gabrielle, and they are a married couple, and it's an amnesia romance. So Adam suffers a injury and he forgets who he is, and he forgets his wife and children, and I've just got to that point where he's lost his memories, so he's slowly starting to get better, but not his memories. And I assume obviously the couple are going to re-find their love for one another, but I've just kind of very, very much in the early stages of that book, but I am enjoying it so far. And the Carrie Ann Ryan book I'm enjoying as well. I don't think I've read any more of that since my last update in my weekend reading vlog, but as soon as I read more I will update you, which will probably be later this evening, but I'm not sure if I'm going to physically read or read my ebook. I haven't quite decided yet, but we'll see how we feel, and I will update you once I've read more later on this evening. So I did start reading A Monsoon Rising this evening, and I have read a few chapters in of this, and I'm definitely easing my way back into this world. I'll be honest, I couldn't remember a ton about the Hurricane Wars, even though I only read it a few months ago, or maybe even not even, maybe it was only a month ago, but I read it fairly recently, so the story is relatively fresh in my mind, but I hadn't remembered a huge amount. But in the Hurricane Wars we followed two groups of people who have been fighting against each other for many years, and at the end of that book we have our main characters Alaric and Taliesin, who end up getting married to each other as a kind of marriage of convenience to form an alliance between their two people to obviously put an end to all the fighting. And we're just starting out where Taliesin is coming into the, I think it's called the Knights, oh I can't remember the name of the kingdom, but she's moving into the kingdom to become the Empress or Queen or whatever. She's going to be coronated, and that's kind of where we're starting out. I'll be honest, as I say, I couldn't remember too much of the first book, but it is slowly coming back to me now I've started reading this one. I'm definitely intrigued to see where this story is going to go, because at the end of the last book we have Alaric and Taliesin, and they are definitely enemies, so I'm interested to see how their relationship is going to progress in this book. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, although it's very early days to say, but I'm interested to see where this story goes. I'm not sure if this is a series of books or if it's just duet or if there's going to be more books. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm interested to see where this story goes and whether it'll end up on a cliffhanger or not, but I will be taking this obviously with me to work tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be getting a lot read on the bus. I haven't really listened to any of my audiobook this evening, and I obviously haven't picked up my ebook because I've been reading this. As I think I've mentioned previously, during the week I don't listen to my audiobook a ton. I maybe listen to a little bit in the morning when I'm getting ready and a little bit in the evening when I'm making tea, but that's not always the case. Sometimes it can be a couple of days without me picking up the audiobook. If I was working from home, I would probably listen to more audiobooks, but I don't work from home. I work in the office 5 days a week, and because I travel on the bus, I listen mainly to music on the bus rather than an audiobook, because I find it quite difficult to listen to an audiobook on the bus, because I feel like I have to have the volume very loud to be able to hear it and concentrate on it over the noise of like the bus and other people on the bus. So that's why I prefer to physically read and listen to music on the bus. So yeah, we'll see what we get read tomorrow, and I will update you probably tomorrow evening. So it is Wednesday and I have a reading update for you. So I have been reading A Monsoon Rising today by Thea Guanson, and I am quite far into it. I've only got like this amount left to read, so I think it's very likely that I will get this finished tomorrow. I'm really enjoying this one. This one is definitely, I am liking it more than the first book, which was called The Hurricane Wars. And in this one we are seeing Alaric and Taliesin really develop their relationship. At the end of The Hurricane Wars we see them get married to form kind of a political alliance, and they are working on developing their powers together throughout this book, and also their relationship is developing as well. Now we know from the beginning of this book that obviously these two have previously been enemies. They've been on warring different sides of the war, and each and they are both kind of have plans to kind of betray the other one, and so I'm really interested to see where this is going to go, because as I say, I'm really enjoying seeing the romance develop between the two. They are very reluctantly exploring their relationship, and it's really interesting to see them develop throughout this book. And I'll say that this book's quite short for a fantasy. It's just over, I think, how many pages is it? 389 pages, so it's relatively short, and I don't know if there is going to be another book in this series. I'm not sure if it's a duet or if it's a trilogy or if it's even more books. I'm not sure, so I'm interested to see where this one is going to end up. At the moment I'm not quite sure, but I'm guessing if it is going to be part of a series, this one's going to end up on a cliffhanger. So I'm definitely interested to see what's going to happen, and I can't wait to get to the end. I think I am going to finish it tomorrow, and I'll be able to update you more tomorrow. I haven't done any other reading other than this one today, so I will update you tomorrow once I have hopefully finished this one. And yeah, so it is Thursday, and I wanted to do a reading update for what I've read so far today. And before I do, I wanted to open up this package that I got from Waterstones today. So I have recently pre-ordered quite a lot of books from Waterstones, and I cannot recall what this one is, so I'm going to open it up and share it with you guys. And yeah, it will also feature in my book haul, but I thought I'd open it up for you today. So let's have a look. As I say, I can't remember what I ordered. I didn't actually recall anything coming out this week. I thought it was next week, but we'll see. Okay, so this is the book that I've got. It's Alive and Wells by Bailey Hanna, and this is, I believe, a cowboy romance. This was originally indie published, but is since obviously been traditionally published. I thought this was coming out next week, to be honest, so this I think might have come early. But I'm really excited for this one. Really love the cover of this. I'm not sure if the cover has changed from indie to traditionally published, but really excited to read this one. I love cowboy romances, so can't wait to dive into that one. And now for the reading update for today. So I have finished A Monsoon Rising by Thea Guan Son, and I did really enjoy this one, and I ended up giving this book 4 stars. Looking back at my rating for The Hurricane Wars, I thought I gave it 3 stars, but I actually gave it a 3.5 rounded up to a 4. But this was a solid 4-star read for me. I think I mentioned in my previous update that this book really focuses a lot more on the romance side of things compared to the first book, and I really liked that. So we get to see Alaric and Taliesin really develop their romance in this book, and I really enjoyed seeing their romance develop. They had quite a lot of chemistry, I feel like, and that slowly developed throughout the book. And what I would say this series is not the best at is the world building and the magic system. I feel could be better explained. I do find it a little bit confusing because there's quite a few different names for the magic, different magic powers, and also just character names. I find that they all kind of merge together in my mind, apart from Alaric and Taliesin and her father, Taliesin's father, and the Queen. A lot of the other characters I feel like are interchangeable in my mind because the names just kind of merge all together. So that I feel is a little bit lacking in this book, but the romance I feel was very solid. This one does end on a cliffhanger, so I am quite hopeful that there is going to be another book, even though it's not, as far as I can see on Goodreads, hasn't been announced. There's no like title or release date, but this one does end on a cliffhanger, and I'm very interested to see where that third book is going to go, because we'd gotten to quite a good point in Alaric and Taliesin's relationship, and I thought that one of them was going to end up betraying each other at the end, because throughout the book they kind of both have plans to do that, and that isn't what happens. I won't obviously spoil what does happen, but that doesn't happen, and I was a little bit surprised by that. And as I say, it does end on a cliffhanger, so I really do want to pick up the next book as soon as I can. And then I tried to start reading, let me just grab it for you, Bloodguard by CC Robson. I did pick this one up from the library, and I read maybe about not quite 50 pages in, but I just wasn't really feeling this book. I wasn't really vibing with it. The writing style I don't think is necessarily for me, or I'm just not into this at the moment. I don't know whether I may revisit this one again in the future, but for right now I'm not really interested in this one. And looking at the ratings on Goodreads, I think it had a 3.67 or a 3.57, so it's not like super high rated, so I don't feel too disappointed about not loving this one. I can't even remember why I picked this one up. I assume I heard someone talking about it, but I can't remember who or what they said about it. So this one is a DNF for now, but as I say, potentially in the future I may revisit it, but for now I have no plans to continue on with that one. So I have picked up Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen, and I've only read a little bit of this so far, but I am much preferring this one to Bloodguard. This one is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I believe it is a Why Choose romance, in terms of the heroine has four. Looking at the blurb, 4 male partners, and as I say, I'm only a little way into this one, and yeah, so far I'm enjoying the writing. It's really immersive. I feel like I've really got into this story, and I cannot wait to read more. So I don't think I'm going to get too much more read this evening, but definitely tomorrow I feel like I can get a good chunk of this read. I feel like probably not the whole book, although it's not very long. It's 369 pages, so I guess it is possible. It's not very long, and the font is quite big as well, I feel like. So it is possible. But yeah, really looking forward to diving into this one. I keep seeing this one a lot on my TikTok For You page, so I'm definitely interested to see how I get on with this one. But that is my reading update for today. Tomorrow is Friday, which I'm really happy about. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Can't wait to see what I get read over the weekend. I think I don't really have any like set reading plans. Obviously I'll be reading this book, and then I think I'm going to pick up some of my other books, maybe some of the ones from my March TBI. Hope to maybe get my ebook finished and my audiobook finished, or one of the two. I did read like a couple of extra chapters of Tempting Boundaries on the bus today, because I finished A Monsoon Rising and I didn't have like another physical book with me, so I did read a little bit more of my ebook, but not enough to warrant like a major update. It was only a couple of chapters I got read. So that's all I have for today. I will see you in tomorrow's update when I have read more. I wanted to share a reading update with you guys. So it is actually now Sunday, so I haven't done a reading update for a couple of days, and the main reason that I haven't done a reading update is because I've been really struggling this week with feeling tired. And Friday and Saturday I was just really tired, so I haven't done a ton of physical reading. I've listened to quite a bit on my audiobooks, but physically reading, Friday evening and Saturday I've really struggled to kind of physically read because I felt so tired. It's been really difficult to kind of focus on words on a page. So I haven't done as much physical reading as I would normally do, but I have done quite a bit of listening to audiobooks. I have finished 2 audiobooks, and I wanted to update you on those, and I will update you on some physical reading that I did on Friday whilst I was travelling on the bus to and from work. But other than that, I haven't done like a ton of physical reading. I did read a little bit on my Kindle, but not much. So let's start with the physical book that I've read, and I'll talk about my Kindle book briefly, and then I'll talk about my audiobooks because I finished those. For the other ones I'm still in the middle of. So this is the physical book that I'm currently reading, which is Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen, and I am really enjoying this one. So I'm a little bit sad that I haven't really felt like wanting to pick it up. Not that I haven't wanted to pick it up, I have wanted to pick it up, but I just feel like I wouldn't be focusing on it enough to enjoy it, so that's why I haven't picked it up for a couple of days. But this one is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. We follow Rosalina, who is a human, and she is basically the Belle character. And for all of her life, her father has been considered quite odd because he believes in the Fae, and he is always trying to find the Fae. And at the beginning of the book, her father goes missing in the woods, and he stumbles into the Fae's land and ends up a prisoner in the Fae Prince's castle. And Rosalina follows him into the Fae world and ends up at the castle as well. And she offers herself up as to trade places with her father to basically become the prisoner. And that deal is accepted, and once she becomes the prisoner of the castle, she slowly meets the other princes. So in this world, the Fae world is set up into 4 courts: the winter, spring, autumn, and summer court, and each of those realms within the Fae world has a prince, and they are all living in this castle, and they have been cursed, and each night they turn into beasts. And so far it's obviously going to be her relationship with all 4 of the princes, and we are slowly kind of seeing her settle into life in the castle. She's made friends with the servants, who obviously also turn into animals as well, and I'm really enjoying this one so far. The writing in this is very addictive. It's a bit like Frida McFadden's writing in terms of it's not necessarily the best writing, but there is something about it that really draws you in and makes you want to keep reading, and I can't quite put my finger on what that is, but there is something very addictive about this. I've read quite a lot of it. You can see that I've only got like this much left, and I just know that this one is going to end on a cliffhanger. So I have already reserved book 2 from the library, so hopefully that comes in soon, but I have quite a lot of books out from the library at the moment. I went yesterday to return some books, and 5 of my reservations had come in, so I've got a lot to read. So hopefully I feel a bit better this week and can read a bit more. But really enjoying this one. I've seen this one a lot on TikTok, and I'm definitely glad that I have picked this one up. Definitely worth a read in my opinion. And then the other book that I've been reading is Tempting Boundaries by Kerri-Ann Ryan. I've been reading that on my Kindle, and I am really enjoying it. I've just gotten to the point where there is going to be the 3rd act conflict, and it's my least favourite 3rd act conflict type. Basically we are following Decker and Miranda, and they are starting a relationship. Decker is kind of been adopted into the Montgomery family, and so it's a best friend's younger sister romance. And they have obviously had some difficulties in the relationship. Obviously the family found out and they weren't very happy, which I think I mentioned in my last clip, which I didn't really understand. Like, I can understand if they'd been dating for a really long time and hadn't told the family, I could understand them getting upset then, but they'd only been dating for maybe like a couple of weeks, and the brothers really kicked off about the fact that they hadn't been told and weren't really happy about the relationship, and I don't know, that just didn't make sense to me. But in Miranda's personal life, she works as a teacher, and before she started going out with Decker, she had a date with a co-worker called Jack, and he turned out to be really abusive and hit her up because she obviously said that she didn't want to see him anymore because she didn't really feel any connection, and he didn't take that very well. And we've just got to the point where she has been hit by a car and is in the hospital, and it's obviously Jack that has done that, and Decker has decided that he is not good enough for her, so he's kind of left the hospital, and that's the point that I've got up to. And that is one of the things that I really don't like, in terms of when either the hero or the heroine doesn't think that they are good enough because of not even things that they have done, but things that like their parents have done. So his dad is very abusive, and he therefore thinks that he is not good enough for Miranda because of actions that his dad has done, and that I find a little frustrating. So I feel like this one is probably going to be a 4-star read. I think I gave the first book 5 stars, but this one I'm not enjoying as much, but I do really like the family dynamics of this series, so I am definitely going to continue on with the series. I do find that the books they're not on Kindle Unlimited, so I do have some of them that I've downloaded for free, along the way when the authors obviously had promotions and deals on Amazon, but they're not on Kindle Unlimited, so they are a little bit harder to get hold of, and because they're indie published, the paperbacks are more expensive, so I might not get to through the series as quickly as I would like, because they are, as I say, a bit harder to get hold of, but I will be continuing on with the series for sure. Now let's talk about the 2 audiobooks I finished. So I did finish Regarding the Duke by Grace Calloway, and I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars. This series, these are very steamy historical romances, and this one we had Adam and Gabrielle, and they, at the beginning of the book, Adam, his father, is a wealthy duke or lord, I can't remember which, and basically rejects him, and he seeks out to have revenge on him, and he ends up marrying Gabrielle. And we see that at the beginning of the book, and then we fast forward 8 years. They have had not a bad marriage. They have definitely relatively happy, but there is things lacking in their marriage. He only visits Gabrielle on a Wednesday night, so they don't have a lot of intimacy. He doesn't really spend a lot of the time with the family, although that probably would have been quite normal for a man of his station in those times, that he wouldn't have spent a lot of time with the family, but he doesn't spend a lot of time with the family, and he has some secrets, and then he is involved in an incident which results in him losing his memory, and so he is kind of rediscovering himself and also working on his marriage, and because he doesn't remember anything, he is very surprised about the fact that he would only spend a Wednesday night with his wife, and I really enjoyed seeing him redevelop his feelings for his wife, and also she kind of redeveloped her feelings for him because he was different after the accident. I also really loved seeing him interact with his kids, because obviously he didn't remember his kids, and I liked that the relationship that he developed with them. I did really enjoy this one, and as I say, I gave it 4 stars. There was something about it, it's not quite a 5-star read, but it was definitely a good solid read. I would definitely recommend Grace Calloway's series. Her other series, which I think I've recommended recommended one of the books in my underrated historical romances video, and that series of books follows the children of the characters in this series. So I believe Fiona, who is the daughter in this book, she has her own book in the other series, which the name of I can't remember, so I'll put on screen. So it follows their children, so they are kind of interconnected, but you can definitely read them as standalones 100%. And the last book that I want to mention in this update, and then I will see what else I get read today, is Flowers on Main Street by Cheryl Woods, and this is book 2 in the Chesapeake Shores series. And for those that don't know, the Chesapeake Shores series has also been turned into a TV show, and it is one of my favourite TV shows. If you are looking for like a family series that follows lots of different characters, quite light-hearted, I would definitely recommend the Chesapeake Shores series. It is one of my favourite shows, and I was very upset when they decided to cancel the show. So it is a complete show. There's not going to be any more series. And yeah, I love the show, and the book series is really good as well. Cheryl Woods also wrote the Sweet Magnolia series, which is also a series on Netflix. I personally think the Chesapeake Shores TV show is better than the Sweet Magnolia series, although I do like the Sweet Magnolia series as well. But I would definitely recommend it. If you like Virgin River, then this is a really good series to get into if you haven't already watched it. The series follows the O'Brien family, and they have quite a lot of siblings. I can't remember the exact number of siblings that they have, but they have a lot of siblings, and this book is Bree's book, and the TV show doesn't necessarily directly follow the books, although the characters are the same. There are definitely differences. So Bree is has been writing plays, and she has been living away from the family town of Chesapeake Shore. She's been, I think, in Chicago, if I recall correctly, and basically her career in playwriting hasn't gone great as of late. Her recent play has been a bit of a flop, and she is definitely kind of questioning where to go in life. And she is back in town, and she sees an empty shop and decides that she's going to kind of change her life a bit and move back to her hometown of Chesapeake Shores to be around family, and she's going to open a flower shop. And she ends up rekindling her relationship with Jake, who is a person that she previously dated. And I will say that this book does have a trigger warning for miscarriage and like loss of a child, because years ago when Bree was dating Jake, she found out that she was pregnant, and she didn't really deal with that in the best way, and she ended up she had a miscarriage, and she kind of didn't really address it with Jake. She kind of left town, and obviously because of that he has some mixed feelings towards her, because he obviously was also grieving, as was she, and they didn't really discuss it. Their relationship just kind of ended without a lot of discussion, and so he feels very hurt by that. So it is them rekindling their relationship, and I did really enjoy this one. As I say, it is different from the show, so if you have watched the show, you can definitely read these books because they don't follow exactly what happens in the show. And I really enjoyed this one. I gave this one 4 stars. I think this series is definitely a solid series. I think I did give the first book 5 stars, but this one's good. Definitely probably not my favourite couple. I'm really looking forward to Jess's book in the TV show. Jess is one of my favourite characters, so I can't wait to get to her book. But I will be slowly making my way through this series. I might do a separate video on kind of my reading journey into romances, because it was a period of time when I read pretty much like exclusively small town romances. And if you are looking for small town romances that don't have a lot of spice in them or a lot of steam, this series is pretty good. And then I have some other recommendations, because that's how I kind of started off. I read a particular series and then was looking for similar books or similar type of books, and that is when I discovered BookTube and other creators talking about small town romances, and kind of I developed my taste from there. So I might do a separate video on that, because I definitely could talk for quite a while about a lot of different small town romance series, because that is one of my favourite tropes. I really love small town romances and books that follow a family, and lots like big families and lots of different characters. I really like that, which is why I'm like really enjoying the Carrie Ann Ryan series, because that is again a big family. Each character has their own book. So that is my reading update for now, and I hope to get some more read today. I'm kind of in one of those moods where I can't quite decide what I want to read next. So I have started a few different audiobooks. So I started listening to The Villa by Jess Rider, which is one that I've got checked out on my library app, which is due back in a few days' time, so I'm trying to get that finished. But I'm not sure if I'm necessarily in the mood for a mystery thriller right now. I also started listening to Divine Rivals, which again is another library book that I've got out, but I thought I'd check out the audiobook. I don't know if I'm necessarily feeling that one right now either. And I also made a start on Ricochet by Krista and Becca Ritchie, because that's on my March TBR, and we are on the, let me just check the date, 23rd of March, and I still have quite a few of my March TBR books that I have not read. I've actually only read one so far, which was regarding the Duke. So I really want to try and make an effort to get some more read before the end of the month. I don't think I'm going to get all my March TBR books read this month, which, considering it's the third month of the year and we're already failing, it's not a very good sign, but I am trying to get them read. But this is the problem with being a mood reader, because I'm definitely a mood reader. I don't like sticking to TBRs. I kind of read what I feel like reading at the time, so that's why my TBR is so short, because I know that I won't stick to it. So it's not the end of the world, but I will see what I can get done. And as I say, I will update you a bit later on today when I've read some more. Hopefully I'll have decided what I want to stick and listen to. And I might get some physical reading done later, because I feel like if I did sit down and read this today, I could get this one done quite easily. But we'll see what happens, and I will see you in my next update. I want to wrap up this week's reading vlog, and I have finished one of the book today and I have made good progress on another. So I have finished Tempting Boundaries by Carrie Ann Ryan, and I gave this one 4 stars. I really enjoyed this one. I liked the relationship between Decca and Miranda. Whilst I didn't like necessarily the third act conflict in here, I got past that and obviously ended up giving it a 4 stars. I also really like, as I think I mentioned in the previous clip, I really like the family aspect in this series, and I cannot wait for the next book, which is called Harder Than Words, and that is going to follow Megan and Luke, who we are introduced to Luke in this book, and this is going to be, I think, a second chance romance between, I think, best friends or friends. So I think it's going to be friends to lovers and second chance, which is really exciting. There's some of my favourite tropes, so I cannot wait for that one. And then in terms of the next book that I started, I did start the audiobook for listening to this one, which is For Her Consideration by Amy Spalding. This was one of my March TBR books, which I'm trying my best to get caught up with, and I did start reading or listening to Ricochet, but I wasn't necessarily 100% vibing with that right now, but I will try and get that one listened to during the week. But I'm really enjoying this one so far. In this one we follow Nina and Ari, and Nina works for like a PR company. She responds to celebrities' emails, and one of the clients is Ari Fox, who is a up-and-coming actress, and Nina responds to some of Ari's emails, and Ari isn't happy with the way that the emails are being responded to, so they set up a business meeting to discuss that, and they have feelings for one another from the start, and it is their romance. And I'm really enjoying this one. It's quite a nice, fun, easy read. I've just gotten to the point of the third act breakup. I assume they're gonna break up, or the third act conflict, where Ari has done something that Nina had explicitly said not to. Nina has been writing a script, and that is kind of her dream, to be a scriptwriter, and Ari has obviously connections in the industry, so she said to Nina, or offered to Nina, to send it to her connections, and Nina said, you know, it's not ready, it's still very much in draft stage, and Ari has kind of ignored that and forwarded it or mentioned it to one of her connections, and obviously Nina's now not very happy, so we'll see how that one gets resolved. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this one so far, and this is the first book that I've read from this author, and I'd definitely be interested to check out more from them in the future. And that is all I have for reading updates for this vlog. it's been a bit of a mixed week, because obviously I didn't film anything. I didn't have any updates on Monday, Friday or Saturday, so I feel like it's been a bit of a lacking vlog in terms of updates. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will be starting a new vlog hopefully on Monday evening when I finish work, and I hope that I'll be a bit more consistent with my uploads this week. I'm hoping that I won't feel as tired this week, but we shall see. As I say, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please feel free to share what you are currently reading, and I will see you in my next video.